Hello everybody, my name is Artem and I'm Director of Tax and Legal Department of the company Tenet Middle East Tax Consultants, and today I'm going to speak with you about the breaking news, about the new update of the 0% UAE Profit Tax Implementation and new corporate tax guide that was issued recently by the FTA. And as far as all of you might remember, the profit tax in UAE is applicable since for the finance periods starting on or after 1st June of 2023, and profit tax law has special tax incentives for the qualified free zone persons. These companies can use the 0% profit tax for certain types of the qualified activities. Here on the slide, I just would like to remind to you how all the system works right now before coming to the details. So as far as you may remember, the qualified free zone person should derive qualifying income, and this income could be derived from other free zone persons, and in that case, all this income could be subject to the 0% profit tax rate, excluding the special excluded activities. Otherwise, if the income is received from the not free zone persons in UAE, this income should be from the qualifying activities. In particular, you can see them on the right part of the slide. Holding of shares, ownership and operation of ships, distribution of goods, logistic services, and others, and other types of qualifying activities. And also, such company should observe some conditions in order to implement the 0% profit tax rate. In particular, this company should have enough substance in the free zone. It should observe the transfer pricing rules. It should observe the de minimis requirement. There is a threshold for the non-qualifying income that the company can receive. Company should do the audit of its financial statement, and the company shouldn't elect to be subject to the regular profit tax regime in UAE. So, but what interesting news the corporate tax guide brought to us? Before coming to details, I would like to show you the content of this guide. The guide is quite big. It's about 135 pages, and you can see that it's covering the whole topic of implementation of 0% profit tax rate. In particular, you can see that it's covering requirements how to be the qualifying free zone person. It's covering some details of how the profit tax should be calculated by these companies, including the situation when they have presence not only in free zone but also outside the free zone on the mainland or even foreign presence. Also, this corporate guide has the special part covering all the qualifying activities and giving the details and explanations on each of them, how they should be treated and how the company should determine that it is really engaged in doing the qualifying activities. I will cover some of them further. The most, I think, important things that the corporate tax guide gave us on this topic. And also it's covering the excluded activities, compliance requirements, and I think that's all. And it also has the table of amendments, and but now it's empty. Only one version of this guide we can see, but who knows, maybe in future it will be amended further. And it's also important to mention that this guide shouldn't be considered as tax or legal advice. It's directly mentioned in this guide in the disclaimer, but at the same time, of course, it is the official position of the FTA on the implementation of 0% profit tax rate that I saw in this guide, and I would like to draw your attention. So first, as I want to discuss, is the substance. Um, the guide confirms the approach that the company needs to undertake the core income generating activities from the free zone or designated free zone in some particular cases, and it means that company should have enough assets, enough employees, and enough expenditure to conduct its activities. There are no particular requirements or how many employees should be there for each qualifying activity, but we recommend to make a benchmarking study uh, to determine the exact amount of the employees, assets, and expenditures in your particular case. And it's also important to mention that you need to carefully analyze functions, risks, and assets of your company in order to be sure that company is really eligible for the implementation of 0% tax rate, and it really has enough substance for it. The next qualifying activity that I'm going to discuss is ownership, management, and operation of ships. Companies engaged in these transactions can use the 0% tax rate, and we have a lot of clients that are really engaged in this type of business. It's very popular now in UAE. But it's important to mention that companies should really do a lot of functions to be in compliance with this qualifying activity. Uh, and purely overseeing of voyages and shipbroking could be argued as qualifying activities. So company really should be the owner of the ship or manage ship, including like um, updating certifications, licenses, maintenance, managing crews, and all this stuff, and be responsible for the navigation, cargo handling, and other things connected with ship in order to use this tax incentive. So you should be very careful by evaluating it in each particular case. And the third qualifying activity that I was going to discuss, and I think it's the most interesting part of the corporate tax guide, the most anticipated, is the distribution of goods or materials in or from designated zone. Um, the history of this type of qualifying activities is the following. In cabinet decisions and ministerial decisions, it was written that companies who are registered in designated free zones and engaged in trading activities can use the 0% profit tax rate. But it wasn't clear from the wording of mentioned documents if the company is obliged to import goods on the territory of UAE, or this tax incentive could be used for the situations when the company is not importing goods on the territory of UAE and doing trading outside UAE. For example, when you buy good outside UAE, this good is transferred to another country, and the good is not touching UAE at all. And the good news for all taxpayers is are that new corporate tax guide actually allows to use the 0% profit tax rate in this particular case. But in case the company is going to import goods on the territory of UAE, such import should be done from the uh, designated free zone. And the last thing that I want to mention about this qualifying activity is that corporate tax guide approved the approach that the goods that we are talking about shouldn't be sold to the end user of goods. And this guide also give the determination of the end user of goods. And also, you should be careful when you check the list of designated free zones. There is a separate list, and not, of course, not all free zones are considered as designated. So anyway, it's a really good news that and now taxpayers can benefit, more taxpayers can benefit from the 0% profit tax rate. Um, One more qualifying activities that I wanted to discuss is connected with trading of the commodities. So under the general rule, the company that is engaged in the business of trading of commodities that are um, traded on the recognized exchange in the raw form can use the 0% profit tax rate. Um, the corporate tax guide gave some clarifications about this incentive. In particular, it said that what it should be understood under the raw form of the goods, and also it outlined that trading shouldn't be done directly on the exchange, and also gave some more details on the ways how the company can ensure that the goods that it is trading are really in the raw form. One more important and popular type of activity that is subject to 0% profit tax rate is holding of shares and other securities for investment purposes. And here, corporate tax guide gave us some um, determination of the what should be considered as securities or shares, and also it approved the approach that shares and securities should be held by taxpayer more than 12 months, or taxpayer should be intended to hold shares and securities for more than 12 months in order to use this tax incentive. Another intergroup, I would say intergroup tax incentive is using the 0% profit tax rate for the treasury and financing services to related parties. And here the corporate tax guide approved the approach that if the company gives, for example, loans to the related parties, the interest on such loans um, could be subject to 0% profit tax rate, and also outline some functions that such company should be doing for the related parties, in particular cash management, risk management, investment management, and financing. And one more intergroup tax incentive is connected with the headquarter services. Um, the corporate tax guide gave us some details on what should be treated as headquarter services for related parties. So it is about the situation when the international group of companies, for example, have the UAE free zone company that renders intragroup services, and in that case, such company can use the 0% profit tax rate, and you can see on the left side of the slide what particular services this company can render for the related parties. It's including HR, legal, tax support, IP management, financial management, and what we really often see on practice, it is also including the buying of the services of the third parties for the benefit of the group members. So I have covered some, I think, the most interesting qualifying activities and the most interesting details that I have seen in this new corporate tax guide. And you can learn more from my LinkedIn webpage. Here you can see my contacts and the QR code, and you can go and connect with me on the LinkedIn. We will also post some text alerts on this new rules for the 0% profit tax implementation. And we also would be glad to discuss with you your particular case, your company, your group, and how you can use this 0% profit tax rate, and what you need to observe, what compliance you need to follow in order not to lose this good opportunity to use the tax incentives that are provided by government. So thank you very much for the listening. It was nice to deliver you some news, and see you soon. Bye bye.